If you've had a bankruptcy, you can't buy a house. We're going to talk about why that's wrong today. Hi, I'm Travis Daggett with Cornerstone Properties over at Keller Williams. I'm here with Kevin Swingdoff. He's an attorney here in town. And we're going to talk about some of the legal issues around real estate and specifically about bankruptcy. So first question, Kevin, or source of confusion for people is, if you've had a bankruptcy, are you just out of luck when it comes to buying a house?
Well, no, thank goodness that's not the case, and certainly hasn't been for a long time. We've always had the ability to do a land sale contract and buy a home directly with, the seller. In this day and age, now we're seeing a little different situation. Even though the market collapsed back in '08, '09, now I'm having clients that are able to get into a home with conventional lending after about 3 years, and usually they have to build their credit up a little bit during that 3-year time frame, but it's certainly possible to do that in 3 years.
Okay, so you filed bankruptcy and you're able to buy a house within or after 3 years?
Yeah, generally that's the case, and you can do it before then on the land sale contract directly with an owner, and that's something that's always been available for us, and that we used to tout that all the time. And when you do bankruptcy, you're clearing off all your bad debt, and so it actually makes you a better credit risk because you don't have any of that bad debt. So you actually are a better candidate to buy a home than prior to the bankruptcy.
Yep. Okay. And land sale contract, how's that different than an ordinary transaction?
Well, the main difference there is you're buying directly from the seller in terms of that, and you don't technically own the property until you pay off the land sale contract. So okay. You don't have quite the same interest in the property, but you really do because it's still recorded. Okay.
So someone could do that for a time period, and then once that time period is up where the bankruptcy is restricting them, they could refinance or they could finance out.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if they have some equity in the property after those 3 years or so.
Yeah. Okay, good. So let's say you're in your house right now, excuse me, and maybe you've had some kind of medical issue come up or job or just something financially. Now you're considering bankruptcy or you've had a bankruptcy. How does that affect you when you're actually in your house?
Well, if you're already in your house and you file a bankruptcy, and I'm looking more here at a Chapter 7 type of bankruptcy, that the debt has to be included in there, but it's a secured debt, so we always have to treat that secured creditor better than anybody else in a bankruptcy. In a Chapter 7, it's called a statement of intent. What is your intention regarding that collateral? Are you A, going to surrender and walk away, or B, continue to make payments, hang on to it, and potentially reaffirm that debt? It's the reaffirmation process that usually causes us more problems than anything else. And technically what's going on when you're talking about a reaffirmation is the contract is wiped out in a bankruptcy. You can't wipe out the security interest because there's a lien on the title. By signing a reaffirmation agreement, you're agreeing to all those terms and conditions that are in the documents originally from the lender. Since the courts are not allowing reaffirmations in this jurisdiction on real property, the biggest problem you have is as you're making the payments, because you want to make the payments to hang on to the home. I mean, a home is your castle. But you're making all these payments post-bankruptcy, and they're not being recorded as a positive payment history. And so I often have clients call me up and say, Kevin, I'm paying on this. They're not giving me credit for it. What's going on? I said, well, you haven't signed a reaffirmation, or more importantly, the court has not approved a reaffirmation for you, and so they will not list you as being a positive payment schedule. So it's upon you to keep track of all those payments and show that you've been making the payments so that you can prove if you're going to refinance the home or sell and buy a new home that you actually have been making those payments. So it becomes more work on the debtor's side to make sure that they keep track of all that information because they're not being rewarded by the lending company for making those positive payments.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, great. We'll answer some more questions in the future. We're going to wrap this one up. Any questions that you have, problems that you have, let us know. It'd be great. Call, email, click where you see this video. Be happy to answer them in future videos. Again, I'm Travis Daggett with Cornerstone Properties over at Keller Williams. Kevin Swingdoff, attorney. We're both here in Eugene, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.